First of all, just let me start by saying that I was impressed with Liberty now. I think, maybe our coaches knew we were in for a little bit more of a battle than our players did, and the coach is it puts me in a little bit of a bind because on the one hand, I want our kids to respect Liberty and know that they can come in and play well, but at the same time, you want our guys to feel confident and be able to go out and play good. And so we were very fortunate to win tonight, as you can see. I thought Liberty had a really good plan for us. I thought very well coached, very fundamentally sound, had some good players, and we were very fortunate to come out with a win tonight. And I thought what was going to happen offensively is about what happened, that we would start slow up front. That was a problem early, but then the offensive line settled down a little bit, and our skill guys made some mistakes, either mental mistakes or bad throws, not catching the football, not hitting the right gaps, running the football. So we got a lot of work to do there. Defensively, we just kept asking those guys to go back out too much. It was a warm night tonight, and we had some guys banged up, and I thought, they hung in there and found a way to get it done, but we didn't help them much. To play good defense, you need your offense to be a little bit stronger than it was tonight, keep them off the field a little bit, and we got a lot of tired guys defensively right now. They just kept going back. Had a bunch of injuries tonight. Thank goodness I don't think they're serious. I think we'll have our guys back. But we lost Josh Harris to a concussion. Then we lost Sherman Ragland, dislocated his finger, compound dislocation, and had to have that stitched up on the sideline. And then we had, let's see, who else did we have? We had Campanero sprained his ankle. We were banged up on offense, and then defensively, Riley Haynes hurt his ankle. Zach Thompson got poked in the eye, and more than once. I told him we'll get him a shield. He doesn't even have to pay for it. We'll put one on for him. But all in all, it was a scary night, and it was good to get a win. And I'm a little different than the players. The players probably wanted to win more convincingly, but for me, 3-0 or 49-0 is fine. I'll take a 3-point win or a 40-point win. Just good to get a win, and we got a lot of mistakes to correct. I don't know how we're going to get them all corrected before the Tar Heels come to town, but we got a lot of work to do.
Coach, it seemed like you were going to play all three backs, and you had Orville returning kicks, but why didn't you play any running backs?
Well, we were getting some pressure from those guys, and Orville's not a very big guy, and there were several times where Josh early when he was in the game, and then DeAndre had to pick up some pretty big guys blitzing, and we kind of felt like, honestly, I think more than anything, and Mitch would be better to ask, but I think more than anything DeAndre was playing good. He started playing good and was running the ball physical and aggressively, and we just felt like at the time that once he kind of had the hot hand, you hate to put Orville out there and maybe turn the ball over or something. You don't know. We probably should have played him, to be honest. He's good enough to go out there and play, and I think this week we may be somewhat limited in what we do with Josh. So I think we'll get those guys a bunch of reps, and we're not disappointed in Orville at all. We need to get him on the field.
Tanner, it seemed to me Tanner and the entire offense was just a half a step out of sync. It didn't look like they were totally hitting those cylinders.
Yeah, Tanner uncharacteristically, I thought tonight, missed 3 or 4 easy throws that were right there, and then some of the great throws that he made we didn't hang on to, and it's just a combination of, a lot of different things, not protecting as well as we can, and we didn't run the ball as well as I'd like to, but we had bits and pieces of a running game tonight, and just a lot of things that didn't come together tonight, and it's amazing. I told the players after the game in the locker room that I think what they're going to do when they come in Monday and look at the film, they're going to be amazed at how one guy not doing what he's supposed to can break a play down.
The big play on the last touchdown drive, you sneak the fullback out of the backfield. Or I don't know, maybe was he lined up in the backfield, or was he lined up? I don't remember. Where was Campanaro lined up?
Yeah, typically, the fullback's the guy everybody forgets about, and Tommy's a guy that's got really, really good hands and pretty good foot speed, and that was a good job by Lobo and those guys, getting him out there. Good throw and catch. How he made it interesting. I wish he'd gone ahead and gotten it in the end zone so we didn't have to take a couple cracks to get it in. But I thought our coaches, saw something that we could do, and that was good.
Overall, what did you think of the line, offensive line play?
Well, it was bad early, Dan. One of the things that led to their first score was a holding call by a guy that shouldn't. It's Antonio, and he's the older guy in that group. He's got more experience. We just got beat underneath. A good move by their defensive tackle, and grabbed him, and that put us in terrible field position. And then of course we punted out around the 50, and then they hit the big throw. We didn't carry with one of the linebackers in the middle of the field, and hit the big throw and gave them a lot of momentum and got them fired up. And we missed a couple blocks, especially in short yardage situations. We turned them loose 2 or 3 times in short yardage situations and ended up having to punt instead of getting another series of downs. And I really felt I might feel differently once we look at the video, but I really think that early the offensive line was very shaky, and we made a lot of mistakes. I know we had Frank Sousa one time. Pulled when he wasn't supposed to pull, and just things like that, that young guys do. And then I thought as the game went on, I thought they really started playing better. I think once they settled their cleats in the grass a little bit, they started playing a little bit better. So I think that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to feel like what happened early was kind of expected. But then I thought the O-line started playing better, and other guys didn't step up. You got to, when the skill guys, when you start getting a little protection, a little better blocking, now they got to step up and make plays, and we didn't do that very well.
Speaking of punting, what did you think of your punter, particularly with that hang time on one that knocks him back to that 19-yard line with 2 minutes left?
Yeah, that was if you had to look at a real bright spot tonight, it was Alex Kennel punting the football. In practice, he had been hitting 3-4 good ones, and then he'd have a bad one. And really, the only one I thought he didn't hit real good was when we had the penalty delay game, and that was really a pooch deal. We were just trying to get the ball off real quick. We thought they were going to bring in pressure, and so we got to do that one again, and he hit it again. And I don't know what did he average? What did he end up averaging per punt?
It's
misleading.
2 short ones, so I don't think his average is that great.
Yeah.
But the ones you really have able to punt.
Oh, okay.
probably will about 40.
Yeah, because he was punting inside the
36,
20.
so, yeah. That's
36.
Probably
Yeah,
about 45.
yeah.
except for those two.
Yeah, he did the pooch punts. I forgot about those.
How much?
They did a good job on those. We pinned them in inside the 20 each time.
What about the kicking game? I mean, how concerned are you about that?
I kind of liked everything. Didn't like Jimmy kicking the kickoff out of the, we really gave him great momentum. We go out and fumble the snap and miss it and don't get the extra point. Then the very next kick, Jimmy kicks it out of bounds and puts it on the 35, and they go down and score. I mean, we had a chance to kind of nail it, hit the extra point and then, kick the ball either out of the end zone or cover it well. And give them a long field, and we let spot the ball on the 35. They did that for us one time. I mean, that's really tough when you do that. So I think it's going to be a mixed bag. I think we'll be happy with Mate. We're certainly not happy when you muff a snap and a set. That's something we work on all the time. I mean, we've done it a million times probably, and give or take a couple. And then. With Jimmy, I thought we think that we may have gotten penetration, got the field goal block, the longer field goal that looked a little bit like a negative dihedral coming out of there. I think there's a chance somebody got a finger on that. At least they felt like it was. So we'll look at the video on that. But you know, I loved seeing the ball go out of the end zone a few times, and that's what we weren't getting last year. So he's improved his leg strength, and I was pleased to see him kick off as well as he did, except for the one.
A.J. Marshall gave you the big play defensively. You might not remember that. The interception.
Yeah, really, really good. He's done that in a couple of our scrimmages, and I feel really good about AJ right now. I think on the corner he's a good player, but he's a better than a good player as a safety, and you know, so he'll keep getting more reps, and that's a good spot back there right now with D-Lo and D-Mac and AJ, and but yeah, I mean huge. I mean, you know, forcing turnovers is one thing, but turnovers for scores, I mean, that was one of the best offensive plays we had tonight, honestly.
You're a little time.
Yeah, big time.
Coach, you talked about some of the mental mistakes that they were making in the secondary today. How much do you think they missed Bud out there today?
Well, you miss Bud. You know, we got to the point where our defense had been on the field so much, you know, we had to try to give KJ a break. And then again, Kenny Okoro, and we're trying to give those guys, especially so that on the last series we got fresh guys out there. And you know, we played Allen Ramsey, the redshirt freshman, on the corner for a while, just trying to give KJ a break. And if you've got Bud out there, now you're not just substituting a young guy, you're substituting somebody that can go out there and really play. So it hurt us. There's no question about it. I don't know that it hurt us, you know, as far as execution and fundamentals and things like that, because I thought Kenny played pretty good, and I thought KJ played pretty good for a first game of the season. But we've obviously got to get those guys to be a little more confident and press a little bit more. And they were probably a little too respectful tonight, you know, of you know, the deep throw and probably playing off a little bit too much. So I think we've got to, you know, get them feeling a little bit more comfortable crowd. We were worried they were throwing so many bubbles and throwing so much hitch. And the thing we were worried about was the hitch and go or the bubble and go. And so, you know, we were kind of coaching those guys on the side, you know, be careful about jumping those things too quick, because it'd be easy to give up 6 points. And so maybe we out-coached them a little bit. We coached them to be too soft over there.
Were you happy with the pressure you got on the quarterback? Nikita broke through a couple times, and then Justin Jackson had that huge sack. I feel like you made some improvements getting pressure tonight.
You know, I think so. I think our biggest issue was not getting him down a few times. You know, we had a couple great pressures and didn't make the play. You know, it would have been huge if we had a chance to sack him on the 1 yard line that time and didn't come up with it. And so I thought we got better pressure. I thought we flushed him a little bit and got the quarterbacks out of the pocket a little bit. But I think, you know, we got to start getting those guys down, because a couple times when we ran him out of the pocket, he completed passes, and then a couple times when we pressured him really good, but you know, kind of got out and up the field, we let him run the ball back up underneath, and that hurt us a couple times. So all in all, I think the pressure was much better, but we didn't get a lot of bang for our buck.
How close was Bud to playing tonight?
You know, Dan, we really Don brought him in yesterday and looked at him, checked him out, and he just doesn't have enough leg strength right now. I think Don was working with him, and he could barely pick his leg up, and so you never know with kids, especially with Bud, because he's been dinged quite a bit in the past and still come out and played. We were hopeful that maybe, you know, he'd wake up this morning and feel great, but you know, we're going to have to bring him along. Hopefully, you know, by Monday night he'll be full speed and back. I mean, we need him, especially with this crowd coming to town that's going to throw it as much as they do.
Seems like when it was tough getting going and the team was out of sync, as we were talking about earlier, the guy that got you going was Michael Caponero. He had like the 19-yard reception, 9-yard run, and the 30-plus yard touchdown catch. And
Yeah.
After that, it seems like things kind of settled down. Talk about having a guy with that kind of experience that kind of gets the skill guys going and gets you back in sync.
Well, the guys just feel better with camp in the huddle. I mean, it's just the way it is. And when he sprained his ankle, he came in at halftime and they taped him up and came back out and they said he can't go. And so he was out. And I don't know how many series we went without him in the game, but then when he did come back, you know, kind of sucked it up and just kind of gritted his teeth and went back out. I think it was a great lift to our offense just to have him back out there. And he's just one of those guys that when he's around, everybody feels like something good's getting ready to happen. And even, limping around out there, even though he's limping around and trying to go full speed, just having his presence there was good for our offense. I thought, one series we went down and had a good drive. I thought, that was kind of when I think Camp got back out there and kind of made everybody feel a little better.
Did he push the issue on wanting to come back in the second half with his sprained ankle?
Well, I
Don't
think,
want
what we tell our players all the time is we want you to be a tough guy. We want you to go out there and play. But if you're not able to help us, you're better off to just let us know that. And I think at the start of the third quarter, he'd gotten a little stiff and it really felt like he couldn't go full speed. And, really, I don't know what did it, but at some point, he was working over on the sideline and he just felt like, he was good enough to go again. So just really proud of him. I mean, he showed some toughness coming back out there. He didn't have to do that, but he did.